If you are one of the tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands, of foreigners that have bought a property in the Valencian countryside, in the community of Valencia, that's the provinces of Alicante, Valencia and Castellón, the Valencian government has some very positive, potentially life-changing news for you, your family, and our whole community. Over the last few decades, many of you have bought property in genuine good faith, thinking it was legal, only later to find out that the property was unlicensed, illegal, and restricted. Despite the fact that the statute of limitations on the initial infraction had expired, you still found yourself in a legal limbo, simultaneously unable to modernize, repair, or improve your property in any way, but with no discernible way of dispelling the legal uncertainty that you faced. It is my privilege to be able to tell you that that is no longer the situation. After decades of previous administrations either ignoring the situation completely or making failed attempts to resolve the situation, you are no longer forced to choose between living in precarious living conditions or breaking the law. We have prepared materials for you in several languages, many of which are available now in Spanish, Valencian, English, German, and French. We encourage you to watch the videos that we have recorded and read the material we have prepared, and also to consult with your local council in order to begin the process of assessment for the licenses of territorial impact minimization. In castellano, licencias de minimización de impacto territorial. And also the new agency which has been created for territorial protection, the AVPT. The binomial of the agency with the new licenses is truly an engine for change, promoting social inclusion where that was lacking, and also promoting economic stimulus through increased legal clarity and much needed environmental protections. We are just at the beginning of a program of community engagement, but the time to take action is now. What has been created is not an inalienable right. Should a future public administration decide to do so, this process of legalization could come to an end, thus taking that decision out of your hands. Let me be clear, this is a quid pro quo situation. Legalization, should your property meet the requirements, the most important of which is that your property must have been completed by the 20th of August 2014. If it meets those requirements, your property will be legalized in exchange for works which help us to protect the environment, which minimize the impact that your property has on the Valencian environment. Legalization in exchange for helping us to protect the environment. It's that simple. For those of you who may be thinking, as the statute of limitations has expired on the initial infraction, that this license isn't necessary for you, we would ask you to consider the following. Firstly, the positive environmental impact of compliance with the new licensing conditions. Help us to reduce water contamination, ground contamination, improve waste collection, reduce fire hazards, improve access to areas and to properties. Secondly, a property with a minimization license will no longer just be tolerated, it will be included with all the economic and social, psychological benefits that that entails. Next, there will be a clear, direct, personal, economic benefit for those property owners whose property possess a minimization license. The property will attain what is called unlimited permanence, with the ability of modernizing and improving and maintaining the property for you, for your family, and for generations to come. So, as such, its value will increase. Alternatively, properties with no minimization license will help us achieve none of those societal benefits, and correspondingly, the owners of those properties will not receive the personal benefits they could. They will also compete in an ever more competitive environment, competing against properties with minimization licenses, and they are quite likely to see a substantial fall in their value. Lastly, consider this. Please bear in mind that the statute of limitations on the original infraction on your property may or may not have expired, but your property is in no way immune or invulnerable from restrictions placed on it by new legislation, perhaps legislation designed to combat climate change. And now that the agency, the new Valencian Agency for Territorial Protection, is up and running since the 1st of January, those restrictions will be applied swiftly, universally, and strictly. So please, take advantage of this unique opportunity. Contact your local council. Ask them about impact minimization licenses and how you can apply. Thank you for your time.